Hello everyone, welcome to another video with my Morris. Today we are going to be looking at the cooling system, and that's the state of it so far. Totally blocked. Hoses are pretty rock hard. I've got two new hoses. That's the top one that goes up there, and this is the bottom one that currently is full of crap. I've also got a whole box of new hose clips, so I'm just going to dive straight in and crack on. Alright, so the problem we've got at the bottom at the moment is, although I've undone the Jubilee clip there, that hose is absolutely stuck on. Normally what I would do is give the hose a twist and it breaks a seal, pull it off. That doesn't want to do it. So, I have a plan B. Cut the damn thing off. I just filled the jerry can up with water, not petrol. It doesn't look too bad in there, a bit crusty, but I've owned worse. So, let's see if we put water down there. There we go. We should get water come out the bottom there. It does look quite clear, actually. That's quite pleased with that. Oh, it's also coming out the top. That's good. To clean both ends, right on top of the dynamo. That's always good. I know this isn't probably the best way to clean out the flush out the radiator, but at the moment that's all we've got. So I think we'll keep some of that for a minute. The main thing is that we flushed out the main bits of big lumps of rust and crud. I'll get rid of that Jubilee clip as well, because we don't need any of that. Right, so let's get the new hoses on and see whether she actually holds water. Right, we sorted out our clips. So we got two. That hose I had before was actually too big, it was way too long. I found this one, which I think is actually the one I ordered, because it's still got a label on it, which I'll cut off in a minute. And then this one, got two new hoses there, one hose for that little bit there. So it's just a case of chucking it on. I am slightly concerned about the engine because, well, not the engine in itself, but all the crud that came out of that hose. As you can see, it is also up around there. I have had a good poke around there, and I will clean up around that. I think that's a water pump. Yeah, around the water pump. What I might do is connect up the bottom hose to the radiator and connect the top hose up, and then run water through. Hold this end up here. The only way out will be for it to come out of the hole in the water pump, and then we can flush out any crud that's still in there as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that just to be on the safe side. So yeah, it's just a case of connect this one up first, get that bottom one on there, and put more water through it.
International peace and harmony is only possible using pictures
I've got some water left in here, so let's see how we go. Now, while we're waiting, I will say that I do know that I've got no antifreeze in there at the moment. I will be topping up with antifreeze afterwards. Oh, hello. Oh, we've got a dribble coming out of there. Right, so that is higher than the water pump. So I'm going to say then the water pump's got to come off because something in there is blocked. That is kind of frustrating. Okay, so new day, and after last weekend putting all the hoses on, I've now gone and bought myself a new water pump. There we go. So that'll fit on that way around down there. So I'm going to have to probably take the fan off, obviously take the belt off, take this hose off that we fitted, pour all that water that I put in there all over the floor, and then unbolt the housing. Shouldn't be too bad a job. I'm hoping it's not going to be too bad a job. So now that I've got the main hoses off, the big one there, and I've taken this small one off of here just to give me a bit more access. Next thing I've got to do is move the dynamo. Now you've got a bolt at the top here that pivots on, and you can't really see it at the moment, but underneath here there is another bolt, and it slides on there for the adjustment. So there's another bolt at the back that I just noticed as well. So that one and that one need cracking off. The one at the bottom needs cracking off, and then the whole assembly should pivot on these two, swing down, allow us to take the belt off. Right, there we go. That's all loose now, and the belt's off. Turns out on the bottom down there, just below this one, there is another bolt. All the others are 1/2 inch. That one is, don't know, I use a 15mm, whatever the equivalent is. So yeah, next job then. It's a bit tricky. Access isn't the easiest, but on the front of the fan here we've got some. Again, I'm using 11mm spanner, whatever the equivalent is, Imperial. And the easiest way to undo these, I've done one there, so let's take this bolt here, is literally to put one hand, I don't know if I can balance the camera and show you. You can hold the fan and lift them up. So hopefully if you're doing this job, yours isn't too tight. Fortunately it is just like a tooth at a time with the spanner. So yeah, just keep going. There are 4 bolts, I believe. Yep, 4 bolts on the new one. So, and then it's a case of this bolt here has got to come off because that's part of the water. This is the water pump here. I have noticed the crack in the housing there. Not too bothered about that. And then I think how many more bolts are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see them there. It's that way round. So that top left is the one for the mount. You can see it like that there. And then there's my finger, 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts on the rest of it, and it should come off. is the last bolt out of the water pump. 2 short ones on the left, 2 long ones on the right, and you can see how crap they look. So I have to try and clean them up before we go back in, but that should now come off, but it doesn't. I'll have to move the dynamo out of the way in a moment. Let's see if I can find a flat screwdriver, see if we can get some, see if we can pry that off just to start it off. That is well and truly on there. May even need to find a hammer. Alright, I think I'm going to undo that bolt at the back there and see if I can swing the top of the dynamo out of the way, and then if necessary just hit that top corner with a hammer, see if I can break the seal. It's obviously been on there for quite a while. Alright, I've loosened that off enough that it's clear there, and I'm getting movement and I'm getting leakage, water leakage. There you go, there she goes. Like I said, well and truly stuck on there. See if we can get a bit of wiggle. There we go. Wow, that is not nice. Obviously all the corrosion on there, that's the reason I really decided to change this. Once I did fill up water, it's been left for a week, and it didn't leak, so I could probably have got away with leaving it, but I want it to be reliable, so I'll say goodbye to this and hello to this. That shininess in there, compare the difference. It's clearly been in there for a while, so before this goes in, the important thing to do is to clean up. It's got a new gasket, so I need to clean the face of that up, which is not going to be the easiest of tasks, especially seeing as I think, yep, the old gasket is still on there. However, I did find in my toolbox a scraper, actual real proper metal scraper as well. So I'm going to go to town with that. And try that drawer. There we are. Not sure. It's clearly been used for other stuff, but should get enough access down there and clean it up, and then we'll get the new shiny pump in. I've noticed as well now I've got this theme going because I've got a shiny water pump, shiny thermostat housing, a shiny-ish carburetor. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's clean enough. Let's try and pick it down there. You can see all the gasket. The gasket actually came off. Oh, it's fallen down now. Came off almost. There it is, almost in one piece, which is unusual for me. Don't normally get that lucky. So I've got a new gasket here, which goes, yeah, that way around. That way around, I think. Yeah, that way. So this little hole here and that little hole there locate with, there's a stud just there, and there's another one that you can't really see up top here. So I'm going to start with the hardest one and get that on that stud there. There we go, and then that one go on there like so. Normally I will put some Hylamar over it, which is like a non-setting sealant, either side, just a really thin smear either side of the gasket. I forgot to bring it home with me, so unfortunately this one's going to go in dry. So if I have screwed anything up here, it's going to leak. But the good thing is it's not like modern cars where you've got to take the cam belt off and all the plastic covers and the engine mounting and everything. It's a handful of bolts. So anyway, let's put this back in, locate it on the studs. Just noticed something. yes, this little stud hanging down here, which was already blanked off, and I figured, a bit strange, maybe it's nothing, but that little blanked off bolt actually is supposed to attach to that. And on my one, the reason that that's all corroded off like that is because that's where that stud should be. Yet more bodgery by the previous owner. I'm going to leave this off for a minute and we'll clean it up and more about that later. Let's go back to fitting the water pump back on. That has also given me a bit more space. Locating stud there. That's it. And locating stud that side. There we go. It's kind of on. Doesn't want to sit on this one too well. Might need a bit of persuasion. That's on. It's not tight. It should go in as I tighten it up. So next thing I'll do is clean these bolts up. This one's the worst one. I think it goes into the water jacket, which is why it's all cruddy like that, but it's just rust. So I'll do that and I'll get the bolts in, and then we've got the pulley to go back on, which I won't pick up yet because I've put my bolts inside, and the bolts go through the fan blade, which is not in too bad nick. At some point I'll probably take this off and repaint it, and yeah, in just a case of putting the dynamo back on. Might see if I can fish up that little bit that broke off there, just so it helps to spread the load of the bolt. At some point I'll probably do an alternator conversion on it, but this will be alright for now. So get his bolts in and show you the finished article. Alright, we're all back together. Even managed to get the little hose back on properly. And there we go. Looking nice, all these shiny bits. So what's left then, put some water in and watch it all pour out the bottom just as fast as it goes in. If we can undo the cap. There we go. Alright. And I think I had problems with this last time. There we go. Once again, this could take a while. I'll take this moment to thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like the video. We'll carry on putting water in. Looks like we've got enough water in there. Probably will go down slightly over time. Find my cap, put that back on. Cool. So that is my cooling system done. It's getting closer and closer to the point where, I know I say it in every single video, but it is getting closer and closer to the point where I need to do brakes. Yes, I am procrastinating over doing brakes. No, I am not looking forward to doing brakes. But that's the only thing stopping me from potentially driving it. So maybe I should just do it now that the weather is clearing up a little bit. It's warming up quite nicely. Might be next week. Might do it next week. If you haven't done already, follow me on Instagram, because I do post updates a lot more frequently than I do on YouTube. So I'll put my Instagram link down the bottom. I'll catch you next week. Thanks for watching.